Tonight, a love story.
I love her, but I literally love her. I absolutely love her. I miss her. Love her work. I love listening to Linda Perry singing. Could do it all day. Again. Well, good day to you one and all. It is I, Justin Hawkins, and this is Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Today, I'm all excited because I get to talk about one of my favourite musicians, songwriters, and in fact people, who was recognised with an Ivor Novello Award this week. And of course, Ivor Novello Awards, as I often say, are the only ones that actually matter. She's also just released a new solo album. So I'm talking about the legendary Linda Perry. Got to get this right. Ma. Justin Hawkins rides again. Right. I'll put this down for a couple of seconds. So, even if you aren't aware of Linda Perry's solo music, you will have heard some of her work, from Gwen Stefani's What You Waiting For, Pink's Get the Party Started, and Christina Aguilera's Beautiful. Linda Perry wrote all of those. She's also worked with Celine Dion, Miley Cyrus, Adele, Alicia Keys, Ariana Grande. She and I have written together, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so fond of her. It was at a time in my career when I was sort of doing a lot of songwriting for other artists and trying to get my own compositions cut, as we say in the trade, by the singers du jour. It was quite a while ago. I think it was probably 2010 or 11 or something like that. And our paths crossed. We wrote together. I went to her compound and met her team, and experienced probably a couple of days of the most rewarding songwriting I've ever experienced. Because every decision that she made was for the sake of the song, to paraphrase Townes Van Zandt, I suppose. And she never pandered to her audience, A&R people, even the artists that we might have in the backs of our minds thought that we were writing for. She only made decisions based on what the best thing for the song was, and that was such a pure and direct and admirable trait to have as a writer, and quite ballsy as well. If you do that, you're not necessarily going to find a home for these things, and you might just be wasting your time. But it's really important to do the right thing, and I learnt that from her. So I love her, and I don't think that's not going to factor in how impartial my review is, but I literally love her, and everything she does is amazing, in my opinion. She is, of course, also known as the frontwoman of Four Non Blondes, who recently reformed for the Bottle Rock Festival in California. 33 years after the release of What's Up from their debut album Bigger, Better, Faster, More, the song has been viewed more than 2 billion times here on the YouTube, which I think is quite impressive when you think that YouTube probably didn't even exist when that song came out. And the band are set to release a new album later this year. But on May the 8th, Linda Perry released Let It Die Here, a solo album, her first in 27 years. It includes her version, and I think the definitive version, of Beautiful, which was accompanied by an extraordinary video directed by Linda's ex-wife, Sarah Gilbert. Her latest single is called Feathers in a Storm. So I'm going to listen to that and tell you what I think about it. But before I do so, I'm going to read you one comment that may inform my analysis. Uncle Jam 147 says, great track, got a Stevie Nicks feel to it. There ain't nothing wrong with a Stevie Nicks feel. That wasn't meant as any sort of euphemistic, that's not what, you know what I'm talking about, and you know what I'm not talking about as well. All right, here we go. Again. Seems like it's A minor, we'll call it for now. Going to an F. soon as her voice comes in, it's just yes. Yes. It's so authentic. You're not going to catch her using any pitch correction, which of course is something that real musicians sneer at in singers. And she's a real musician. And she's playing what I suppose it's alluding to the shape of a Telecaster. She's probably reluctant to have the logo on full display because, it's about her, and it's about her face, and it's about this strip of light that dances across this part of her visage, not about the guitar that she's playing. So why am I going on about it? Because a lot of the main guitaring is just sounds like its power chords chugged and dampened between that A minor and F. All over again. Over in that speaker. Caught in the crossfire. You just can't argue with this. You just can't argue with it. It's so much space in it, and it's so simple, beautifully sung. And I've always loved this thing about Linda Perry's voice. It's like she can sound like a 15-year-old person that's never opened their voice up before, or she can sound like like a Lucinda Williams type that might have smoked 1 million cigarettes and has all that sort of great. So it's not just like her vocal range in terms of the notes she can hit, but it's also like dynamics and the variety of delivery that's available to her. She's got a lot of things in her toolbox. And through this album, I think she's probably going to be pulling out a lot of those. Quietly waiting, swarming around. I love the drum sound as well. It's like it doesn't sound as dampened as a T-tail thing. There's still a bit of room in there, but what there isn't, notably, is a lot of kind of EQ, which I find a bit off-putting on drum sets nowadays. There's too much stuff that sounds sound replaced and perfect in every way. You don't get any feel for the actual space that the drummer's operating in. You do here. Hiding under the ground, yeah. Wow, here comes the strings. You hear that? We all want something. Yeah, we all want something. A right to be for something. So then paying the price for never tuning my guitar now. I can see why people are saying, it's a certain period of Fleetwood Mac that this is reminding me of a little bit. And I recently listened to Tango in the Night. I think it's more the tango era than, what most people consider to be sort of like that Fleetwood Mac that everyone's trying to do when they're trying to do that. They're always going for rumours or before even. But the tango stuff definitely has merit, and this is more like that because of the chugging. Caught in your quicksand, all of us right here. That's right here. We could be fearless or disappear. We can't be lovers, we can't be friends. We can be dreamers or we can pretend. You're like a chained up heart, blackened by the stone and charred. Yeah, that little bit of singing there definitely had a sort of slightly Nicks-esque thing in the vibrato that she applied to it. It went like it was pretty fast. We all want something. Yeah, we all want something. Right to be for something. Feathers in a storm. Yeah, we need changes. Nothing ever changes. Yeah, we need to change this. Feathers in a storm. backing vocal bit happening there.
Fly away, oh, we will fly away.
It's weird how that chord sequence works, isn't it? 'Cause it's sort of like, it's just like an F. A minor, G. And you know it's going to rest on the A. How do we know that? And it's really, it's such a subtle, you know, sort of resolution to the refrain part. You just think, well, it's genius and it's simple, but it's kind of like, but the brave choice is to do those things and not kind of do something clever or surprising at the end. Like this, you just want something that settles and lets you make your point lyrically. So this kind of, by the time you get to this second time up from F, G to A, there's something in the way Linda Perry is delivering her vocal where you sort of telegraph and you perceive this change happening, and the change is that it stays here. And what does that suggest? Thine leaves are so unchanging, feathers in a storm.
Oh, we will fly away, blackbird. Oh no, oh, we will fly away.
And that orchestra that she's used really, really sparingly at this point, that's when it really starts to poke its head up and become much more prominent in the space it's occupying and also where it's sitting in the mix.
You're like a chained up heart, blackened by the stone and shard. We all want something, yeah, we all want something, right to be for something, feathers in a storm, yeah, we need changes.
So this period of Fleetwood Mac that this is reminding people of, I think it's a period when there were members of the band that I think were probably British and members of the band that were American. But there's other stuff on this Linda Perry album where she's exploring kind of bits of Americana that I think has been overlooked. Like there's some stuff on there that sounds like Neil Diamond, for example. She is not kind of plundering things that already exist and have been released in the last 5 years just to try and get some clicks or anything. I know this woman. I think she's one of those people that's a reluctant singer, really. But I do feel like this particular record is probably something that she had to do, you know. So if you're going to do something and you're Linda Perry, you might as well fucking do it properly. Because who else is? Who else is going to do that?
Feathers in a storm. Oh yeah, we will fly away.
So even that fly, she's opening up something with a bit more grate in there.
Oh, we will fly.
You feel it distorting a bit there, but she's completely in control of it. It's not shredding like some of those people that just sort of blow too much air through it. This is a really, really well preserved voice. I don't know, voice of a generation. I love listening to Linda Perry singing. I could do it all day.
Fly away. Oh, we will fly away. Blackbird.
That's an amazing video. She looks incredible in it. It's really, really beautiful. I kind of agree with some of those remarks that sort of mention that it's along the lines of something that Stevie Nicks might have done many, many years ago. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people who sort of posture and try and do that to Stevie Nicks thing. They get it all wrong. They just think it will suffice to have a fast vibrato and a bit of a shawl twirl. But there is a lot more to Stevie Nicks-esque music than that, and Linda Perry knows what she's doing. It's really awesome. Let me know what you think in the comments. Justin Hawkins writes again. I'm sincerely hoping I can get Linda on for a chat about her because I miss her greatly and I can't wait to reconnect. So I'm hoping I'll be able to do that when they play in they're playing in Landan at some point, aren't they? I think maybe on the 24th, is that right? Of June. So I'm going to try and get down to the Shepherd's Bush Empire. 24th of June, 4 Non-Blondes playing at the Shepherd's Bush Empire. I'm going to try and go, and if Linda has any time for me, maybe she'll have a little chat with me for the channel. As I mentioned before, I absolutely love her work. So let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, hit the bell for notifications. And I'll catch you cats. I'll see you cats at the Shepherd's Bush Empire on the 24th of June. Lots of love to you, and I'll see you on the ice. All right, nice one. Okay.